Alright guys, welcome back. We are here on the Forebay. Gonna do some bass fishing, some striper fishing. Gonna see if the bass are biting in the midday. That's usually when they were biting. And then once they're in the scent starts setting, hopefully we get on some striper boils. If not, I'm gonna go and try to spoon some fish. But other than that, we're just gonna go and throw a jig around, spinner bait, you know, a trick worm and all that to get stuff around, see if we get some bass up shallow. This time is usually kind of like the dead time for stripers. It's kind of hard to find them right now unless they're completely boiling, but they're moving so quickly, so it's really hard to stay on top of them if they don't reveal themselves. So yeah, we're just gonna go focus on some bass fishing, and hopefully we see a few signs of stripers or you know, bait fish activity, and we'll go do some of that. But for the most part, we're just gonna be doing some bass fishing. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we catch some. There he is. Nice, nice. Dang it, dang it. That was a striper. That's a keeper. Maybe like an 18, 19 inch. Really skinny guy though. Yeah, he's gonna be a keeper. We toss him back though. It's so hard to fish in this wind, but just yo-yoing it off the bottom gets bites. All right, guys, that's a keeper. It's gonna be like a 21, 22 right there. Okay, he is a 22 and a quarter, so it's actually a pretty decent one. Skinny, but there's one. Oh, broke me off. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Oh gosh, man. Hopefully I brought more lipless. I do got more lipless. There it is. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. First drop on this with this lipless. Another keeper. What a tough day of fishing today. Every time we've been coming out, they've been boiling, so we got kind of spoiled doing that stuff. So man, this wind really kicking hard. It's really hard to locate them. But you know, we're getting some work done today, right now. And it's still a little bit early in the day, so. Oh, this one has a hook in its gut. Get rid of that. Another keeper. I'm gonna get another one. Look at them. They're reacting to it. Actually, they're getting scared of it. Oh, oh. Oh, that one reacted to it, just didn't grab it. Got it. Oh. Oh. They're not that deep, so when they hit it, man, they sure pull hard. Come on. Quick release. I better retie because I got this is my last one of this one in particular, the dual realis G fixed lipless, and I really like this guy, so I really don't want to lose this one. A little bit bummed that I lost my LV 500, but I got plenty of those at home. I don't have many of these ones, and this one in particular, this color. So gotta make sure we tie. Gotta work hard for this one. Woo! Man, it is tough today. It's another good size one. It's gotta be a 22. on, let these guys come over here. Oh, are they coming? They're coming, yes. There we go. It's reacting to it. They're reacting to it. Oh, he's knocked it. Oh, they tangled it all up? No way, come on now. Oh, they left already. Come on. Hopefully they show. Yep. Someone's still around. Gotta love striper fishing. They fight hard. That's a very good one. It's actually nice and healthy. It's got 23-incher right there. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just sitting in a spot where I've seen bait come through. You know, these stripers are moving so quickly, so it's really hard to stay on top of them, especially with the wind blowing you around. You know, it's best to just sit in a spot where they ran through. They're gonna most likely come back and bite. They're most likely to come back to the same path, and you can hopefully grab 1 or 2 more fish while that school moves through. And that's basically what I'm doing, because man, this wind is so crazy. And all the times that I've been out here for stripers, that these stripers are moving so quickly, so it is extremely difficult to stay on top of them. And you know, I've just had more success just sitting and waiting around, because earlier today I was, you know, scanning around looking for them. I'd find them and then I'd stop and try to fish on them, and they'd leave already. So right now I'm just sitting in an area that has a lot of bait coming through, and you know, I don't see any stripers. All of a sudden one will come out of nowhere, dart to my bait, and a few more will come through in this general area. And that's how I've been able to catch the last few fishes. You know, it's not a whole bunch of stripers right there. It's just a few come through every now and then. It's kind of what I've figured out as of right now, because man, it is so hard to move around. Are getting really smart. They're coming and just bumping it. I can see them on the forward facing, and they're just coming up and bumping it. They're not eating it, so they're just bumping it to test it. And that's why my lure keeps tangling itself a lot. I can see them come up and chase it down and bump it. Good fish. Come on, shake off. No, come here. This net sinks like a rock, so I gotta be careful. That's another good fish. Now they don't bite it until like 7 or 8 of them show up. They get really aggressive once the competition starts showing up. But before that, they'll chase it around and bump it, but they don't really start reacting and really sticking really hard to it until quite a bit of them show up. Ones today. If they bite, they're good size. Alright. That's a good 20-incher. Look at these ones, they're showing up. Ah, they're not interested. Oh, one is. Nope, got scared. What the heck? Oh shoot. I felt like a big one. Should have my drag set a little bit looser. There it is. Just tapped it. Oh, got riled up. That's a good one. Look at my graph. How big is it? Oh, he is a good one. Maybe net worthy. See him yet. Oh, jump right out. Well, plenty more down there. Another small keeper. It's a good 18-incher, maybe 19. Okay. Bigger one. There you go. All right, came right out. That's like a 25 right there. The size of that one. Yep. Nice little bass on the trick worm. Bass fishing today has been very slow. You know, I threw the spinnerbait a lot. You know, I threw the jig quite a bit. You know, trick worm. You know, drop shot, pretty much everything, and we're having it. This wind was really killing us too, and the water's about 3 feet lower than usual. So that probably makes it. That's probably one of the reasons why the fishing is so tough. And the water is so much more muddier than usual. You know, the bass fishing was tough, the striper fishing was tough. You know, just all in all, a really tough day of fishing. But we didn't figure them out until the very end right there. And yeah, things just started happening. And it was, you know, this is the only spot that we could get bit on bass, and then out there was the only spot we can get bit too. But those fish were very hit and miss, very hit and miss. But other than that, you know, it just we caught our limit on stripers, so we're just throwing a worm for some bass right now, and see if we get some more bass. Other than that, you know, we're gonna call it a day pretty shortly here. The wind's kind of dying down a bit, I hope, because it's pretty gnarly out here, and we got a long ways to go back. We gotta get out of the park at a certain time, so I gotta get ready to go in a bit, very shortly here. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. What a tough day. You know, the wind really beat me up today, man, I'm just soaking wet. You know, the current was pushing me in a certain way, and the wind was pushing me in a certain way, so the waves are just coming over my boat on the side. But yeah, really tough day of fishing today. We didn't figure it out till maybe about the very end. You know, the water did drop quite a bit, 2 or 3 feet, and the water is really murkied up, so it made it really hard to locate and catch these fish. Usually, you know, you can fan cast and catch these fish, but even with the forward facing, I've noticed that they'd have to be really close to it in order to see it and track it down. You know, I threw a lot of stuff, but what actually caught almost all my fish was a lipless crankbait. First, I was throwing an LV500. I ended up losing that, broke off on a fish, and then I caught the rest of my fish on a dual realis G-Fix lipless. You know, I really like that one in particular because it's a very slim body, and you know, it's really responsive when you go and rip the rod tip, so you don't have to work it really hard to get it moving. You know, as soon as you lift it up, it starts to vibrate already. So yeah, I caught almost all my fish on that, and you know, really it was just spot locking in a spot and just waiting for fish to show up, because you know, when I was trying to find these fish and sit on top of them, they were just moving so quickly. So I just stayed in the area where there was a lot of bait, and you know, you didn't see a lot of these stripers come through, but they were mixed inside the bait balls, and you know, you'd rip it under the bait balls, and then you'll see a few come out and they'll start to react to it. You know, if there was one striper on it, they wouldn't bite it, but once a few stripers started to show up, and you know, there was some competition, that's when you would get those bites. So yeah, that's really what it was. Tough day of fishing, but we ended up catching our limit, and you know, had a good time out there. So that's gonna be it for O'Neill Forebay, and once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.